Hey, what's going on, guys? Jay here from EasyBladeShavingProducts.com. Today I'm going to explain how to fade hair in just 5 easy steps. Let's get into it. Okay, so we all know the fade haircut is the most important haircut in the barbering world. Everybody wants a tight fade. When you start to work inside of a barbershop, people are gonna ask you, do you know how to fade? Are you good at fading? That's like one of the most common questions you're gonna get as a new barber. You know, when you take down a hair like a Caesar haircut and just a lineup, that's cool. But when it comes time to fading, you have to have a tight fade if you want to get to the next level and you want to make a lot of money. And fading is commonly used in every haircut. Even if you're doing a haircut with just scissors, you're still gonna have to basically get that transition from the highest hair down to the lowest hair. So if you're using, even if you're using scissors, you're using a form of fading regardless. And you know, most of the haircuts you're going to be using fading on, like I said, is every haircut, which is going to be tapering, skin fades, one fades, whatever it is, it's going to contain a fade. So now let's talk about what a fade is. So a fade haircut is basically a transition. So you're transitioning from a high point down to a low point. Okay, so you're fading into the highest point in the head. Okay, that's basically what a fade haircut is. So you're going from something that's high down to low and having a nice transition in between that. Okay, so number one, the most important part of fading is your lever. Your lever will determine how short and how long the hair would be. I think a lot of people get confused and stuff like that because they don't know how to use a lever. Either that, if you're fading yourself at home, you probably bought a machine without a lever. If you want to fade, you're gonna need a lever. Okay, so the way the lever works is if it's all the way open with the lever down, that will keep the hair longer. If we close it all the way down, close it all the way up, actually, that will make the hair shorter. So depending where that lever is will determine how long and how short the hair would be. Okay, the lever is also good for transitioning your fade. If I was to apply a clip on this, if I was to put a guard on this machine and I was to fade the hair, make a section of the hair, for me to fade into that hair, I would have to be able to use my lever. So the lever is amazingly important. Number two, one of the most definite important things about fading hair is your clips, or some people call them guards, clips, whatever you want to call them. That's one of the most important parts of fading hair. Now, depending on the way you use the guards is up to you. My rule of thumb is to work my way from the biggest clip down to the smallest clip. So I like to start at a big clip, then work my way down and then fading into that big clip. So what you're doing is you're making a big clip and then you're fading into that clip. So whatever you started with here, you want to go lower and then fade into this clip. So you want to work your way back up to this number. So we'll start with a big clip, then we'll start at our lowest point, and then we're going to fade into this clip. So we'll start, let's say just for video purposes, this is a number 4. Then we're going to go down to a 1, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we won't create a line because that 4 was already all over the head. So we had a 4 all over the head. Then we go down to a 1. We work our way from a 1 up to a 4. That will create our fade, just for video purposes. Now there's other ways you can do this. There's no guaranteed way. All clips are named different. You got 1/4s, 2s. Depending on the machine you buy, will depend on the way they name them. But if you guys keep this in your head, starting with a big clip, forget about the numbers. Start with the big clip, go down to a small clip, and fade up to that big clip. So forget about the numbers. A lot of people get confused with half, 2s, 1s, this, that. Forget about that. Look at the size of the clip and then transition into that clip. Okay, and the way you're going to transition to that clip is using that lever. Okay, using that lever. Like step number 1, you're going to transition by using the lever. Okay, number 3, flicking your wrists. Extremely important because you don't want to continue to create lines. So if I was to take this person here and I was to create a 0 line, so my machine was closed and I create a 0 line up to the temple area all the way around, as you see some of the fade videos do. So let's say I was to create a 0 line. For me to keep that 0 line there, I would have to flick my wrists to keep the 0 line there, because if I just went straight up like this, I would just keep making that 0 line further and further up. We don't want to do that. We want to flick our wrists, okay? And if you guys don't know how to use the machine, we'll put some links below on how to properly use your trimmer. We'll put a link down below in the description, explains exactly how to use your trimmer, also exactly how to use your outliner. We'll put that a link below, and also we'll put a fade haircut below as well, so you guys can see exactly what we're talking about. But flicking your wrist is extremely important, okay? Extremely important. Okay, number 4 is clearing the bulk. Clear the bulk, guys. You have to clear the bulk. Clearing the bulk means if somebody has long hair like this, we don't just want to start our fade and just, start to cut his hair and try to fade in that bulk. What we want to do is we want to basically clear that bulk. So we want to remove the hair and make a flat surface so we can have room to fade. Having room to fade is very important. Okay, so it's kind of like having like a nice canvas. So you want to be able to have that canvas before you start your fade. So if someone comes in with this long hair like this, I don't want to just start a skin fade on there. What I want to do is I want to create my canvas. I want to clear the bulk, clear the area, make room for a fade. Okay, we want to clear the bulk, make that transition. This way, when I start my skin line or my one line, whatever I'm starting, I want to basically be able to have room to fade. Clear the bulk, guys. Okay, guys, last step, number 5, is creating lines and taking them out. All fading hair essentially is creating lines and taking them out. That's all it is. But it would take time to build that skill and to know how to take out the line, and to know how to use your machine, and to know how to use your clips, and you figure out, what types of hair they work on, because clips are funny. They might work on coarse hair differently than they work on straight hair. So, over time you build that confidence, and by looking at somebody's head, you can understand exactly what that clip is going to do to it. By combing somebody's hair, you can kind of feel that out. But all fading hair, like I said, is creating lines and taking them out. That's it. So let's say I put a skin line on somebody's head and I want to take that line out. I will have to know how to take it out by flicking my wrist, by knowing which guard to use, okay? By clearing my bulk first, okay? So one of the easiest ways to explain creating a line and taking it out, one of the easiest steps is a lot of people make a skin line first, and then they make a one line, all right? And then they'll fade out that skin line, and then they'll fade out that one line, and that creates a fade, okay? So it's all about creating lines and taking them out. I want to say two lines the most in a fade is usually what people put in there. Like I said, usually people put that skin line, that one line, and then those will be their base lines, basically. And that's about it, guys. I'll go ahead and give you guys another bonus for you guys. I want to call it number 6, is to make sure you have a plan. Always have a plan. So go on YouTube, go on our channel, watch a bunch of videos of people fading hair, and look at their plan and look at their structure, because there's no right way to fade hair. You got some people who start from the smallest clip and work their way up to the biggest clip. Some people work from the biggest clip like me, then work my way down to the smallest clip. It just all depends how you feel and what you feel comfortable with. Anyway, guys, that's fading hair in 5 easy steps. Jay here from EasyBladeShavingProducts.com. If you guys need products, go ahead and use coupon code YouTube. If you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll have a lot more videos coming like this. Talk to you soon.